This delay is crazy. But we are here. We are live. We are on. We are broadcasting live from Chicago, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the wrap-up show. This is the back end. This is the reaction show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the return of the 23rd hour. I am your host, Mr. Maurice Prophet, coming to you live from B-Side Studios, everybody. And we are wrapping up night 2 of WrestleMania 41, taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, Nevada! Site of WrestleMania 41. And what a weekend it has been, coming off the heels of an amazing, incredible WrestleMania week, just in totality overall. Above all and everything, let's preface this with a shout out to Chris Bay, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is. G said the greatest story ever told. If you are unfamiliar with what's going on or who even Chris Bay is, I encourage you to look that brother up. Suffer in a nutshell. He's a former TNA Tag Team Champion with Ace Austin. Unfortunately, he suffered a very severe, very critical, very impactful neck injury that took place on him the weekend of Bound for Glory back in October, and he is recovering. He's going through rehab. The brother is coming together. There has been nothing but lots of endless love that was showed to him all week by the independent wrestling community when it comes to his recovery and everything. And obviously, we're showing him love on the 23rd hour. Brother Bay, please get better. We're all pulling for you. We're wishing you nothing but the best, brother. We want to see you. Just forget the ring. We just want you to be well. We just want you to be well. We want you to be with us. We just want you to recover. We want you to be okay once again, brother, for real. So it's nothing but love and just strength being sent your way and everything to you, brother. So to stay up, and we're all pulling for you. And of course, we're showing our support not only to him, but also all the wrestling that we received this week overall. I went over it last night in terms of what the experience was like overall with watching the collective. Granted, I was not in Vegas this week. I'm here in Chicago, but being able to have a front row seat watching all the events take place on Triller, when it came to all the events taking place within the collective and outside of the collective, all the independent wrestling organizations that had their events, and even the big time ones like TNA, when it came to Unbreakable, even with AEW, putting on a stellar 48 hours of wrestling between Wednesday and Thursday. We've seen probably some of the best wrestling from their end those couple of days, and then we went into the weekend with the collective, and then we went into WrestleMania weekend, Saturday night 1 and Sunday night 2. So this has been just like a wonderful time of being a wrestling fan. Even if you're a new fan to all this as well, too, this was a hell of an experience for you. So I really hope that everyone had a great time being able to be a part of what really took place all of this entire time. So yeah. So I was, I'm happy to be back with you guys and being able to chop it up with you all. Let me know, in the comments, what you thought about tonight's event. If you're watching us, if you're watching the show on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch, leave your comments. Let me know what you thought. And if I'm able to see your comment up on the screen, I'll read it and I'll show you some love and everything. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought, because it has been a really impactful weekend. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a couple of messages. You guys bear with me for one hot second. I just want to make sure everything is all good and it seems to be okay on our end. So before we get into talking about tonight's festivities, I want to touch a little bit more on the news that's circling around with the acquisition that WWE has done when it comes to AAA wrestling. So if for those who may not have known, yesterday it was announced that WWE has acquired AAA wrestling. And for those who don't know, AAA is a wrestling promotion based in Mexico. They're very historically around. Man, I can't tell you the year it was founded, but we're going back to the old days of Perro Aguayo. We're going back to those old days. We're talking about possibly the 70s and 80s and such. The old style of Mexican wrestling, the Hector Guerrero seniors and all that. El Santo as well too. We're talking about like his lineage that's connected with AAA. So AAA is a very historic promotion, and for the likes of the WWE to be the ones to make that acquisition of that promotion, it does kind of align when it comes to this is one greatly aligned promotion that's acquiring another, so it's going to be a pretty significant impact and such, right? So yes, that took place over the weekend, and so of course with that, there's been a lot of conversation that's been going around when it comes just about lucha libre in general, and now getting like this very wide mainstream eye. And it's making me very, I guess, intrigued to see like what's actually going to happen with this acquisition. Is this going to be going in a more conducive way that we hope that it goes, or is it going to go more of the same, where we see the WWE imprint kind of all over the place? Something that was significant. I want to share a little story with you guys. So about a month ago, well, real quick, as every great company is going to have a rival as well too, a competitor. Just as WWF had WCW back in the day, WWE has AEW right now, vice versa. Okay, all right. I think I like lost connection for a hot second, but I think we're back though. We're all good. WWE has, I'm sorry, AAA has CMLL as their rival promotion, and they put on some really fantastic showcases as well too. So about a month ago, I saw that CMLL was coming to Chicago. I'm like, okay, cool, for sure. I'm gonna grab me a ticket for this and everything, and go check it out, because I've never seen CMLL up close to real life. I'm like, this would be a great opportunity. They're going to the Cicero Stadium, and I'm a big fan of that venue just in general, because I just really like how it's very intimate and everything. TNA has done a lot of shows there, and so has MLW. So I really do like that venue. So I'm like, it's perfect. So I went to go get my ticket, right? And it said we're coming to Chicago, and we'll be there Saturday, April 19th, and Sunday, April 20th. I'm like, why does that date sound familiar? So when I'm like, before I pulled the trigger and bought the ticket, I'm like, let me see what's going on that day. What's going on April 19th and April 20th? Right, WrestleMania weekend. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not buying. I'm gonna go see. I'm not gonna go not watch WrestleMania. Even though we know, if you know me quite well, I have some hangups with WWE, but WrestleMania is a whole different animal. It's one of those where it's like, yeah, I might, yeah, I'm a little funny with you, but I rock with you heavy on this though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that one friend, that one guy in the group that you're cool with and everything. You know what I'm saying? But you kind of doing funny, but there's certain things where you're like, I'm still gonna rock with you heavy on this. So, and that's why I'm just like, okay, no chance. I'm good. That's not gonna happen. But my thing, I was like, that takes balls. I'm sorry, but that takes balls to run a wrestling show the same weekend as WrestleMania. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep my eye on them and see, if they know that WrestleMania is that same weekend that they're running a show. Do they realize it? Maybe they might see like tickets aren't moving that they want the way that they thought they were going to move, and maybe they might announce on Facebook or IG, hey, we decided to postpone our Chicago show. We're going to reschedule for a later date. It's not going to be April 19th or 20th. So I kept checking. I'll go to their site every day, and there was no announcement about a change of tickets. I go to the ticket page, and everything was still the same. Buy your tickets right now. And I'm like, they're really going to go through with this? This is crazy, man. Like who's going to show up? Because my thing is like, even though that like it's a whole different promotion and everything, that if people are coming to your show, it's a greater chance that they might just stay home and watch WrestleMania. And that was my whole thing, was just seeing like if that was going to happen, right? So I checked their page this morning. Come to find out, these moms had a packed house last night. What? So yeah, they had a packed house at the Cicero Stadium for CMLL. I'm like, get the hell out of here! Like folks really. And the thing is, y'all, it wasn't like it was a late morning, early afternoon show. This really, it did say it's a bell time was at 6 p.m. What time does WrestleMania start? The main show, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm like, oh wow, like they really did it. And they had videos, they had photos. They showed it was a packed house there. And tonight, while watching Mania, I'm on Facebook and I see that they posted a live video showing what the house looked like during WrestleMania over at the Cicero Stadium. So they still had a packed house. Yeah, a live video. I'm like, they really went through this. This is crazy. Like they really, I mean, that really takes a lot of guts, a lot of balls to do that. I'm saying this because seeing the acquisition take place, a lot of people in the comments, because I went straight to the comment section, a lot of people in the comments were saying, and these are and it was all in Spanish, everyone was saying, we are protecting Mexican wrestling. We are protecting Lucha Libre. We are always going to support Mexican wrestling. Even if it's in the United States, we are always going to support Mexican wrestling, no matter what. I'm like, wow. And then there were people even talking about the acquisition, saying CMLL is not like AAA, where they're going to sell out to the billionaires. They're not going to sell out to the gringos. They're not going to sell out to the rich folks. They're not going to sell out to the Americans. CMLL is not like AAA, where they're going to sell out like that. I'm like, dang, this is deep, y'all. This is deep. So I'm like, I think they're trying to take me down, y'all. They're trying to take me down. They don't like what I'm saying. But I'm back. But what was I saying? I like the whole renegade attitude, the whole renegade mentality of being like, I'm going to go against the machine. I'm going to go against the big dog in the yard. I'm going to be that little one right there that's going to be, I'm cool. I will square up with you. I will go head to head, face to face, eye to eye with you. I have no fear whatsoever. I like that veracity in somebody. I love that. I absolutely love that. And that's what was done with that. That was not only the promotion, but the people who support the promotion as well too, saying that we don't care if this show is running up on the biggest wrestling show of the year. We don't give a damn. We're still going to come out. We're still going to support the show because this is what we believe in. That right there, y'all. Not only is that guts, but man, that is a following. That is a dedication that you cannot recreate. That is organic right there. And seeing that in those comments was absolutely just. I mean, that was motivating as hell. You know what I mean? And it wasn't so much of, and this is not me being like anti WWE or anything like that, or anti AAA, nothing like that. It was just, it's more so the intestinal fortitude that's being exhibited by people who truly do stand by and believe in the product and that really believe in what they have. And it's like, I feel like that really does like show like, if you really truly believe in what it is that you're presenting, you are not going to let any force whatsoever. I don't care how big the mountain is. I don't care how powerful that thunder is that's coming at you. If you believe in what you have, you're gonna look us right in the eye and be like, "Come on, bring it on." I don't care who you are. Bring it on. I'm ready to fight back. Even if I gotta get knocked on my ass so many times, I'm gonna keep getting back up. And I love that ferocity. I love it. So seeing that, I thought was just so incredibly motivating. And I'm like, I really gotta share it with everybody today. So kudos to CMLL. I was and I feel like a big old dork because I'm over here like, you guys should reschedule. You're going up against WrestleMania. What are you doing? Oh my god! I was doing that. I was the one doing all that. But they taught me a great lesson tonight that no opposition is too big if you believe in what it is that you're presenting. And I freaking love that, man. For real, I freaking love that. So yeah. So shout out to CMLL for making that happen and doing the damn thing this weekend as well too, man. Professional wrestling overall. My fault, y'all. I really hate that trying to end my stream. This is crazy, man. I mean, you know what's crazy is that I hear about this happening with other podcasters, and I'd be like, man, y'all tripping, man. Y'all just has a bad connection with. But I really believe that somebody trying to invade my stream, y'all, for real. This is crazy. Okay, I think we're all good again. My apologies, guys, for real. Like this, it just randomly went out. It just randomly put me out of my studio. But I think we're back. We're all good once again, guys. So yeah, I'm just gonna. I might look at my phone for a hot second just to make sure I'm okay. Hold on. I think we're okay though right now. But just bear with me for one hot second, guys. I am just kind of just double checking, making sure we are all good. Damn, we about to cook about WrestleMania too, and they over here hating. But hold on one second, guys. I just want to double check, make sure we are good. Okay, I think we're okay. All right, I think we're okay. I think we're okay with you. We're okay. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk about. Okay, if it happens, if I get kicked out again, guys, just bear with me. I'm gonna come back in. I know they're gonna try to keep on kicking me out, but I'm gonna keep on coming back in. Though I'm not, like I said, hey, CMLL didn't quit. I ain't quitting either. So, all right. So we're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about the women's triple threat match. This is for the women's world championship. the Raw Women's World Championship between Bianca Belair challenging Io Sky for her championship, and Rhea Ripley is also challenging as well to win the women's triple threat match for the world championship, guys. This, you know what? This I gave this match some really good credit because this escaped from the typical what we have seen before in the past. They came to the, it started with three wrestlers. One wrestler will take a break on the outside, like, they get, I got hit, I'm going to the outside, and they roll out to the outside, and they lay outside the ring for like 5 minutes, and then they'll come in, and somebody else gets rolled, they roll out the outside of the ring for 5 minutes, and they kind of round robin it until the very end of the match where they go for the close. But this match did not follow that formula, did not follow that framework, which I greatly appreciate. They actually had the women incorporated. So it was booked where you saw them doing moves that required all three of the women continuously having the match keep on going and telling the story that it's told and everything, which I greatly appreciated. So it was really good seeing that. It was very refreshing because for a very long time, you were very used to a WWE style of triple threat matches, but they did not go with that route tonight with the women. So it was really good seeing that they changed up that framework. It was a very physical match as well too, between the three of them. Very physical match. We saw a lot of punishing maneuvers that took place on the outside and the inside of the ring. Lots of just like aerial tactics that took place. A number of strength tactics as well too, which was part of her arsenal in terms of getting her offense and everything. And of course, you have the false finishes that take place and everything as well too. Now here's the thing though. So Bianca was pinned by Io Sky. Io Sky retains the women's championship, so she's still the champion. There's no new champion. But here's my thing. Damn, Bianca's WrestleMania streak is over with. Like, Bianca had a WrestleMania winning streak, and coming off the heels of The Undertaker when he lost his WrestleMania winning streak back, 11 years ago at WrestleMania 30, we've not had that special kind of like that special kitty corner that's reserved solely for a wrestler who has a WrestleMania winning streak. And what Taker gave us was something very special, because there were times where Taker's winning streak being on the line at WrestleMania was bigger than the World Championship match. So you have something to look forward to. This was an opportunity, I felt like, what they were doing with Bianca Belair in terms of building her to kind of be that next superstar, that next wrestler who could hold on to that and also have that as well too, for themselves, where every year WrestleMania, we're looking at Bianca Belair's match is going to be, is this going to be the night? Is this going to be the one? Is this going to be the one? Is this going to be the one? And for it to end the way it did, it was like, well, damn. Because truly, I really thought that what they were going to do, I'm not a fan of Bianca getting booed by the fans. I know that was done during the that happened kind of on its own during the European tour. I'm not a fan of that happening. Someone in the mid-card mess, a shout out to Ashanti Williams, kind of broke it down for me where out of the three, there had to be someone who's going to catch the boos. And considering the way how Bianca's been okay, where she's been unbeatable. They fans have kind of like made their choice of making her kind of like the scapegoat in terms of catching the boos, the one that kind of catches strays because of the way how she's been positioned. So if that's the way you want to justify it, I guess. But here's the thing though. If that's what you're trying to go for, and that's what you want to have happen, then how about this? Have Bianca be the one who pins Io Sky and wins the women's championship. Bianca's WrestleMania streak is still intact. It's still strong, right? And she's gonna walk out there getting rained with boos. I mean, because if this is the direction you want her to go into, they go by it that way. Because then all sides kind of work itself out. All right? And Io has had a number of victories over. I don't think Bianca's ever beaten Io Sky before. I don't think she's ever had a win over. So if Io were to get beaten by Bianca, it would be well deserved on Bianca's end. But also at the same time, Io is still like, okay, you got me this time, but I know I have a formula. I have a way where I know how I can beat you. So I can make it happen myself if I have another shot. And also at the same time, since Jade won last night against Naomi, now you're setting up a little feud, a little like, you know what I'm saying, springtime feud, like a post-WrestleMania feud that can happen between Bianca going up against Jade. And granted, we know Jade's not going to beat Bianca, but that can help elevate Jade with her being a face as well too by working with Bianca. Bianca will make her look really, really good. So yeah, as I was saying, wrong decision, bad decision, wrong decision. That was not the right decision to go with. So, but we're gonna see what happens with that. But yeah, congrats to Io. You're still the champion, and yeah, that was like the wrong decision. I'm sorry, it was. Priest against Drew McIntyre in a Sin City Street fight. Once again, very physical match, and I was thinking that they're going to break out so apparently a couple of weeks ago, there was I guess Drew took Damien's necklace, and so like, why the hell was that Drew fighting over men's jewelry? First it was the bracelet with CM Punk, now it's the necklace with Damien Priest. Like, they really got this man out here looking like that he's trying to fight for he trying to fight for Claire's or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was a physical match. Drew did his little petty pose for Twitter that he did last year, talking about people at work. So he did that once again. That was funny to see. But Drew gets the win over Damian Priest. Damian Priest, he came out to Slayer, the headband man for Slayer, played him out to his music, so that was pretty cool to see. But yeah, but Damian, I'm sorry, Drew got that victory, got that W over Damian Priest in the Sin City Street fight. Next up was for the Intercontinental Championship match. We're talking about I'm guessing I have 2 minutes before they cut me off every time. So we're gonna make this happen. Okay. I like this man, Braun Breaker, because he is built, he moves, he looks like a professional wrestler. Like this guy looks legit. The way he moves is legit. The way he walks is legit. The way he wrestles is legit. And he looks like I said, he looks like a true professional wrestler. Him up against these three guys, they had a pretty hard-hunting match. WWE likes to run the whole thing with the spear when he speared Carlito a couple weeks ago. So they did it 2 weeks ago on Raw, which went completely crazy viral. They did it again last week during the Go Home show. They did it tonight. So look at that moment. But Braun did a spear on Carlito, which really was pretty impressive over the announcers. However, in terms of who takes home the gold, Dominic Mysterio wins championship belt. The crowd went crazy. The crowd went crazy. Personally, I don't think Every 2 minutes, I swear to God. All right, let's keep it going. All right. Next up is going to be Randy Orton face off his mystery opponent. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Aleister Black. It's going to be Rusev. It's going to be Brock Lesnar. It's going to be Kane. We know who is going to be. I was going to say John Orton, Randy Orton's mystery opponent, and what we heard say his name and he'll appear. I believe in Joe Hendry. So yeah, so the whole stadium was clapping. We got Joe Hendry, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. He is Randy Orton's mystery opponent. The crowd went crazy, crowd went wild as Joe Hendry came down to the aisle. And just like what we saw at the Royal Rumble, they made him look like a big old chump. This match was not even 3 minutes. Randy, they got all the hits in, but Randy Orton, of course, laid him out, knocked him out on the ground for the 1-2-3. The WWE, I'm sorry, they have no respect whatsoever for TNA, nor the TNA Heavyweight Champion. And I kind of like low-key kind of got into it with some guys in the TNA group that I'm part of. And yeah, and my thing was like, how did this help TNA? If I'm a casual watcher of WWE and I don't watch anything else, and I see this man Joe Hendry come out and he has a big old championship belt around his waist, and they said this is the TNA Heavyweight Champion of the world coming out, and I see him, he got laid the hell out by Randy Orton in less than 3 minutes. Am I gonna want to tune in on Thursday on Access TV so I can watch this man wrestle? Or I can watch any of his colleagues wrestle? Is that gonna make me want to watch TNA? It is not. It is not. I'm gonna look at that as a joke. Like, you mean to tell me that this guy who was just thrown into here, he's the world champion, and he came and stand in the ring with a WWE wrestler for no more than 3 minutes? When he was in the Rumble, he got in, he got his shit in, he got thrown out. Michael Cole totally, and I'm just like, how does this move the needle for TNA? How does this help them? You call this a partnership? I don't see it. I don't see the benefit in that. Like, you two times, you have literally made the world champion look like a chump. And it's like, oh no, you are good enough for a crowd reaction, but that's it. We just want the crowd to have a reaction, and that's it. Anything else beyond that, we don't give a damn about you. We don't give a damn about how you are in the ring. We don't give a damn about if you can tell a story or not. We don't care. And my thing also was like I get that Kevin Owens got injured, and I hope everything's okay with him, like physically and everything, like real talk. But imagine had this had a proper 3 to 4 week build where you had Orton going on Impact, you had Joe Hendry going on SmackDown, you had them both crossing over, you had Impact talking about the match, SmackDown talking about the match, showing video clips as well too, doing some back and forth IG posts or whatever, or TikTok posts or whatnot. You had an opportunity to be able to do that, but that was robbed. And granted, yes, it was cool to see it happen. It was cool and fun, but it did nothing at the end of the day. It did nothing. Like, seriously, it did nothing was accomplished to this. I'm sorry, but for real, like, come on. And that's the thing, is that you are furthering the narrative, and thank you, I appreciate that, but furthering the, all right? Like, come on, like seriously, and granted, I know that I think, like, personally, I think Mike Tanner will make a better TNA World Champion right now at this moment. However, judges, all right? Look at his match with Nick Nemeth at Bound for Glory that took place back in October. He has some matches. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, like, even if it's been a last minute addition because of KO's injury, I know I'm getting kicked out in a second, but I'll come back, guys. They put together a match. They can. But the opportunity was robbed, all because they just want to have a big entrance moment at WrestleMania. I mean, we got that. Now what? Now what? Now what? Seriously. Because like I said, the casual fan who only watches WWE is not going to be looking for access TV. You want to be bought by WWE in the worst way. I know it's for personal reasons too. And I'll talk about that one day. But I know you want to be bought by WWE in the worst way, but gee, this ain't the way to go about it, man. At least have some damn dignity in the way how your product is being handled. Good God Almighty, God forbid if I'm ever in a position where I want to sell B-side, I don't want B-side to look like a bitch on the way out the door, but that's what you're making TNA look like with the way how you're handling it. So please get it together. Seriously, like please get it together. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. That just really irritated me when I was saying that, and I was seeing people who are actually like trying to defend WWE's doing of this. I'm like, are you kidding me? You all are TNA fans, and you're okay with this? Why? Anyway, next match, Logan Paul against AJ Styles. And I'm sorry, during this match, I was still so damn taken aback about what happened with that Joe Hendry match, where I was like. This match, I was like, man, what the hell, man? Whatever, bro. Oh my goodness. Logan against AJ. It was pretty much what I expected. I knew AJ was gonna go out there and he was gonna do all the hits, and he was gonna do what needed to be done to make the match look very competitive and everything. And Logan Paul athletically knows how to keep up with wrestlers that he's across the ring from. I'm sorry, this is like the third year in a row where Logan Paul's had a WrestleMania match, and somebody comes out for him to help him. That's supposed to be some social media person. I never know who these people are, and so some guy came out in the match to help him out, and somebody. Oh, it was your boy Clint, your boy Karrion Kross, who put a stop to. I don't know who the dude was. I just know it was another social media guy. I think half the fans in the stadium were like, who the hell is that anyway as well, too. It's just another year where he puts his friends on TV and, whatever. But anyway, Logan Paul got the victory over AJ Styles. I said that, yeah, I'll say that one more time. Logan Paul got the victory over AJ Styles at WrestleMania. All right. Next match, no, not even a match, but it was an announcement called they have a new show coming out called WWE Unreal, and it's supposed to we're going into the writers' room. We're going into the writers' room of WWE to see the behind the scene of the writers' room for WWE programming. Man. Pat McAfee didn't even know how to respond to that. he spoke his words. Way Barrett didn't say anything. I am dying to know what. Like, they really have taken the curtain and not only pulled it back, but they said, we're pulling back the curtain. Come on in, everybody. Bring your cameras, bring your footage, watch, look at everything. Look exactly what the Wizard of Oz does behind the curtain. Oh my God. If there was even a shred of mystery, a shred of intrigue that was left, that was here to be able, so this way it could tantalize our imagination, it is done now. Like, damn. Like, I get kayfabe is damn near dead, but good Lord. Like, you are just making sure it is pulverized into real life that, hey, all this shit you see is bullshit. Like, God damn, man. So I'm sorry. I guess it's the purest in me. It's like the old school fan in me where I'm like that one thread of mystery was the saving grace all we had, and that is gone completely with this WWE Unreal. I have no type of plans whatsoever to watch it on my end. If you do, hey, more power to you. Let me know how it is. But yeah, that's not happening with this guy right here. I'm sorry, man. All right. Next up is going to be for the women's tag team champions. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are defending the world women's tag team championships against Lyra Valkyria and her mystery boy. A lot of mystery people tonight. A lot of mystery people tonight. But this was pretty obvious because after yesterday, when they announced that Bayley was not going to be part of WrestleMania due to a quote unquote injury, we all knew it was like, okay, all right, it's Becky. You know, we know it's Becky. You know what I'm saying? Because of Becky's relationship with Lyra Valkyria, and yeah, so Becky came out. Whoa! So she came out. She looks great. You know what I'm saying? Becky, when is Becky not look great? You know what I mean? She looked fantastic. So they came out and they had their WrestleMania moment as well too themselves. You know, in terms of they have a mentor mentee relationship with each other, and they were able to create their WrestleMania moment by winning the women's tag team championships. Here, Lyra Valkyria, she's not even like what, a year into the game, on the big stage, and she's carrying 2 belts. I feel that Lyra should have had a one-on-one match because both the women's IC championship and the women's US championship are brand new belts, and both those belts were not showcased in its own match at WrestleMania. They both were left off the card. So Chelsea Green, she wrestled on SmackDown, but she didn't wrestle over the weekend at Mania. Lyra Valkyria, the Intercontinental champion, she was in the tag match for the tag belts, but she didn't defend her titles, but she won a title. So I guess she's a big winner. So she's walking. Is this going to help elevate her? It's going to create intrigue, some interest in terms of who she is, in terms of who her character is. Because right now the consensus is that Lyra's pretty boring. Yeah, Lyra's pretty boring, which is out there. She's pretty boring. And I'm not saying she's awful because a woman can work. Because she can work. She can work her ass off. But in terms of she okay. A lot of people are moving around. They're on their phones. They're you know going to take a piss break. They're going to get some beer, whatever may have you. But they're not engaged in her matches. They are there for the woo woo woo. They're her entrance song. But then after all that's over, they're going, okay, now all right. Let me see who all is on the on the phone. So yeah. So let's see if there's going to be some intrigue with her now. But that remains to be seen. Next up, Stone Cold Steve Austin came out to announce the attendance record that was set tonight, with 60,000 fans or something like that. But damn, my man Austin, he must have been, having some of them Steve Weiss's in the back before he came out, because he sure did come out on his AV. Is it AV or RV or something like that? I don't know. But he on his 3-wheeler, and he went around the ring and went, crashed right to the barricade. And oh, the person he ran into, good lord, they flew about 3.5 feet. Oh shit. They keep trying me, y'all. They keep trying me. But and it got me blurry too, so whatever. But yeah, she is going to be Sue happy, and they're like, nah, no, we don't need no lawsuits. So whatever you want, free tickets, free concession, free autographs. You want to come and party with us at the WrestleMania party? Come on, like whatever you want right now. We do not get. Oh man. But that was crazy though. So yeah, so shout out to Stone Cold Steve Austin, man, for keeping it 1,000. Man, Stone Cold, you don't ever change, brother. For real, don't ever change, man. My man's out there wilding. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes right here. We're at the main event of WrestleMania 41, the main event and the headliner. We're talking about for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm sorry, the WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. This is John Cena challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE World Title. And Cena came out to pretty normal entrance. You know, Cena used to have the very over-the-top elaborate entrances for WrestleMania. So we didn't really get that from him tonight. It was very basic. And similar with Cody as well too. Cody came out, pretty regular, a little, some theatrics, but nothing too crazy. And they went at it. And just like regular John Cena doesn't know how to bump. Been in the game for 20-some years, over 20-some years, still don't know how to bump. Still bumps on his ass. The very first bump he took, it was like, oh yeah, nothing's changed about this man whatsoever. Nothing has changed about this guy whatsoever, man, for real. Right. The match, is. And here's the thing, man. Like, I was vocal about this in the mid-card mess back after Elimination Chamber, that this heel turn should have happened years ago. This should have happened a very long time ago. At the start when we started seeing a decline in John Cena's wrestling, even though it's always been a decline, but there was a certain point, sometime after WrestleMania 31 or 31. After WrestleMania 31, when we were like, okay, it's now taking a turn for the not so good, and he should be a heel. I think they kind of tested those bars a little bit when he faced Undertaker at WrestleMania. But they should have really committed to the heel turn back then when he had some reason to be limited in the ring. Because right now, like what we've seen from him with the last few WrestleManias he's been a part of, especially the one he wrestled up against. What's that boy's name? The one Vince likes. God damn it, what's his name? The one who tagged him with that Australian cat. Damn, what's that dude's name? Austin Theory. When he wrestled against Austin Theory, we saw a shell of John Cena then, and that's all we remember of him in terms of wrestling style. Granted, his conditioning is still good, but what he produces in the ring is still a lot left to be desired as well. So it's not even worth talking about the match itself, because the match itself was a very typical John Cena match. And I'm sorry, that's not a good thing to talk about. It really isn't, because there's nothing to talk about with a John Cena match. It's colored by the numbers. And that's what's always irritated me, when people will call this man the GOAT, because he is far from that. You cannot be the GOAT if you're not good at what you do, if you are not the master of your craft. When I can name about 17 other people who are much beyond you skill set wise when it comes to what it is that you do in that ring. And you have no excuse to be this mediocre so deep into your run, into your tenure as a WWE wrestler. But the match ends with we hear and it's bing, 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 bing. We hear Travis Scott coming out. So Travis Scott comes out, and he comes out. But the thing is, though, is that they have him coming out looking like a damn threat. And Travis Scott next to Cody Rhodes looks like Ichabod Crane, a very short, small version of Ichabod Crane. He looks like a small version. He looks like a toothpick next to Cody Rhodes. And you are trying to make him look like a threat? What? Like, it's laughable. Come on, like, what? They made him look like a threat next to Cody Rhodes. And of course, Cody got him the hell out of here. All right? And then the so that's the first part. I thought it was gonna be a lot more shenanigans that took place. I thought it was gonna be some overbooked nonsense where everybody in my was Travis Scott was gonna come out, The Rock was gonna come out, goddamn it, probably Roman Reigns was gonna come out. I thought everybody in my was gonna come out in this match. But no, they just had Travis Scott come out because I guess he's the threat. And then the title gets thrown into the ring. Now I did kind of like this because this is some decent storytelling. It was consistent to what they talked about on Friday, where Cody had an opportunity to lay John Cena out with the World Championship, but because Cody wanted to be Sweet Cody, because he likes being Sweet Cody all the time, he said, "No, I can't. I gotta be the good guy. I gotta be a moral hero to the kids." And then John Cena, he caught him slipping. Had him fall for the okie doke, took the title back, said, "Bitch, let me show you what to do with this." What? Mollywop his ass with it. Laid Cody out, got the 1, 2, 3. We have a new WWE champion in John Cena for the 17th time. And I appreciate that because, like maybe now Cody's gonna have a little bit of a mean side to him, maybe a little bit more of a tougher side to him and everything, after this. But at the same time, though, we're tired of Cody Rhodes. We're tired of him. We are tired of Cody Rhodes, and so we want something new. And they got it. They got what they wanted. Because I feel like fans are kind of like seeing through the bullshit that Cody exudes on the regular basis. But they got what they were looking for though. When it comes to a new champion and a new face, and plus the fact, let's be real here, Cody is much better chasing a title than actually holding the title. Cody wants to be that poster child figure to represent the company and everything. He wants to be that very badly. But the thing is, though, is that even though sometimes WWE fans can be on some drone bullshit, they also know when to call you out on your BS as well too. And I feel that they got to a point where they're like, all right, dude, we see through you. We see through you, dude. All right? You gotta give us something much more authentic, man. You gotta be who you truly are, instead of this manufactured figure that you want to be portrayed as. Give us something much more authentic. And I think that's why the fans were kind of saying, "Nah, we're kind of sick of the BS." And so they went the route of Cena looks kind of interesting right now. He looks kind of interesting, even though I have my personal proclivities with him in terms of him being a wrestler. But that is something a little bit interesting, a little bit different. So it is going to be kind of interesting to see what a John Cena heel world champion is going to look like. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that. I'm very curious. What's going to happen with that. Let's see what some of y'all said. And thank you very much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate y'all. I know we're going through some difficulties and everything technically, but we're gonna get through all this and everything. I got excited. All right, I got excited. There's some things in tonight's show that I got excited and I was with. And there were some things that I thought was some bullshit. You know what I mean? But shout out to you, Melissa. I appreciate you watching, though, for real. Bro, what's up, bro? Man, yeah. It was ass. It was. I'm sorry, but you can't sit here and convince me that Travis Scott is a threat. You can't convince me of that. And like the whole thing, I was okay with them kind of exposing. What's up, bro? Sweet Cody and everything, but it was kind of like, oh, this kind of sudden. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I didn't agree with it. Major letdown, bro. Major letdown. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, because they could have done so much to make that worthy. Yeah, man, an entrance and that's it. Then the bell has to ring. You know what I'm saying? For real. Once again, man, for real, people are expressing their opinions about this and everything, and especially when it comes to the ending of that. Pretty sure I'm gonna get that again, but we're gonna keep on. I tell you, we're gonna keep on riding this into the very end, y'all. Give me 1 second, all right? But yeah, man. But that's the thing is that they could have done so much with that, but nothing was done right. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Quan, I agree with you. The ending was weak, and a lot could have been done to really be able to preserve that, but they decided to go like a whole different route with that and everything, and I don't know. I mean, there probably is a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I like to see that what that says, Casey, outside of this. Absolutely, man. But it's crazy as ever. But shout out to you, Casey. I hope you're doing well, brother. And you too, Quan. And Jamal, my man. Oh, you damn right. I know, man. Look, when you're at Mania, I'm there. When you are booked at Mania, I'm flying wherever it's at, and I'm there. I have not been to Mania since 30, but when you get there, brother, I'm there. I am there. And we are on record of me saying that too. And yeah, bro, especially and stay right there, Jamal. Stay right there. Because remember, and there's a little history with those two as well too. Because remember, when Nick Aldis was announced as the SmackDown GM, when he was first announced as the SmackDown GM, which is like about a year ago, at the beginning of 2024, Orton RKO'd him. Orton RKO'd him. Or was it the end of 2023? Something like that. But you get what I'm saying. Orton RKO'd him. So there was some history that was already established with Nick Aldis and Randy Orton. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, man. That would have been that you could have gone with that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And John Cena now is a 17-time champion. But doesn't Ric Flair have like 23 world title championships, something like that? Like he has like NWA championships that were not recorded or something like that, or that weren't registered. It's something of that nature. But you know what I'm talking about, those details and everything. So that's why to me it's like I'm not really. I'm kind of like okay because Flair still has like 23 world title reigns or something like that, out there. So it's one of those things. But yeah, y'all. But that was WrestleMania 41. Oh man, I haven't been. Obviously, I have not been on the net in an hour. But I'm dying if I see people talking about this is the greatest WrestleMania they've seen in their lives. So that's what I got. Because I see that every year. I see every year somebody saying this is the greatest WrestleMania of my life. I am dying to see if I see that this year because last night's Mania. Tonight's Mania. Wow. I think my favorite part about WrestleMania, to be honest with you guys, my favorite part about WrestleMania was Haku. Haku hopping the rails going to ringside to show love to Jacob Fatu last night for winning the United States Championship. I think that was my favorite part of WrestleMania, to be honest with you guys. Honestly, that was my favorite part. That was my moment of the weekend for WWE wise. We're seeing Haku embrace Jacob Fatu. That and that was like that was real. You know what I mean? That was real. You couldn't manufacture that. Everything else, I mean, the women. I'll give the women credit. The women in both. Even though I did not agree with the ending of the women's triple threat match. I did not agree with that ending. It was still a good match. The match was still it was still very entertaining. I felt Charlotte and Tiffany did a really well job last night too. Tiffany took a hell of a beating last night, so I think she did a good job out there. The fatal 4-way tonight for the IC belt, we know that was solid. Like I told you guys already, Braun Breaker is a hell of a wrestler to me. I just like watching him work. But those main events, man, good lord, good lord, man, for real, good lord. But y'all, but that's gonna be it though. We're gonna wrap things up. I gotta be up in a few hours. Okay. They trying to kick me out anyway. They've been trying to do this to me all night. And you know what? And just like CMLL did, we persevere. And we said, forget you. You're going to try to stop us? We are not going to let you stop us at all. Because we had these problems last night, but all of a sudden we have these problems tonight, though. Go figure, right? But anyway, you guys, it was awesome to be able to chop it up with y'all, hang out with you guys, be able to talk about WrestleMania. I really appreciate this that you guys were able to stick with me and stick with the show and everything. We are going to, like I said, the pay-per-views, talk about what happened on the post show between WWE and AEW. We'll probably do some TNA here and there, probably some other special shows as well too here and there, but primarily we're keep with AEW and WWE for the most part, guys. But we will be back next time, I believe, for Double or Nothing AEW or Backlash. Well, I gotta see what the dates are, for those. And some of those overseas pay-per-views might be a little here and there because it depends like if I'm going to be around or not. But we'll see about that. But guys, it was a pleasure. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Follow B-Side Studios on Facebook, on YouTube, on IG as well too. Follow our channel. They really tested me tonight. I can't even do a proper goodbye. But look, hey, whomever is in charge of trying to kick me off the stage, I'm about to leave, so you guys can chill out now. You can relax. All right, I'm leaving anyway. I'm just saying goodbye to everybody. But once again, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Check us out, all of our shows between this, the Nerdium, Buzz and Bizzle, Mentality, Sipping and Tripping. It's all online, and all of our live events are on our YouTube. Please follow us. B-Side has a lot of content that we're going to be going over with you guys in the coming weeks, months, and years. So be ready for an amazing ride. You guys have a great night. I love you all. Thank you again for tuning in. And please, I take one another and just be the best version of who you are always. I love you all. And watch, it's gonna be delayed even going to the final graphic because it's the way StreamYard is. Now that I want to close out, now it doesn't want me to close out the right way. You see what I'm saying? Like this is like only my luck. Is it even happening right now? I don't even know. But we're gonna close this out. Oh man, you gotta love it. Live broadcast.